News programs have morphed into infotainment because, like the gladiator games of the Roman Empire, the mob likes to be entertained. Today, movies and television programs are arguably much more effective at swaying public opinion than a lecture from a news anchor. Television shows and movies use many of the propaganda techniques we've already covered. They offer a vivid appeal with symbols and prestige. The message is likely to be received as we are in a relaxed, mindless state as we consume the media. We are not thinking critically about propaganda embedded in the program. We are simply following the plot and enjoying the show. And after we've consumed tens of thousands of hours of screen time, we don't remember much of the specifics of a program, but we do internalize and spread the affirmations repeated throughout the programs, creating the contagion described by Gustave Le Bon in his book, The Crowd. Television and movies are dominated by programs portraying the U.S. government as moral and government employees as heroic. What are some of the recurring themes and affirmations in our programs? One of the most pervasive is the weary detective or dedicated cop who solves the crime and saves the day in an hour, and even has time to stop for commercial breaks. Law enforcement is portrayed as heroic, essential, and moral. Even when police corruption is portrayed, it's always another cop who saves the day, perpetuating the idea that even when there is corruption, it's just a few bad apples, and the good officers will rise to the occasion. Often, the best and most elite police officers were former soldiers. High-speed soldiers, CIA spies, and special operations units are often shown saving the world from terrorists. In the 80s, it was communism. Today, the audience is shown the secret world of these heroes where they risk their lives, toiling in anonymity to keep us safe. This perpetuates the idea that the government keeps us safe, even if we don't see it directly, and these heroes are to be revered. Hollywood and the U.S. Department of Defense have a symbiotic relationship that increases profits for Hollywood and increases propaganda and control for the U.S. government. The U.S. Department of Defense has an entertainment media office that works directly with Hollywood. Vince Ogilvy, deputy director of the U.S. Department of Defense's Entertainment Liaison Office, said, "We make sure the department and facilities and people are portrayed in the most accurate and positive light." According to Ogilvy, standard procedure is to review the script, make notes on what the Defense Department would like changed, and kick it back to the producer. If the changes are made, the military will provide whatever help they can, declassified information, equipment, personnel, etc., for a price. If an agreement can't be reached, the project is either scrapped or made without the help of the Pentagon. Ogilvy cited two shows, NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles, that often portray bad behavior in the military. He also noted that at the end of each episode, someone has to take corrective action. He said, "We want the portrayal of the military to show professionalism, cohesiveness, jointness, and dedication." This relationship between Hollywood and the U.S. Department of Defense is not new. Paramount Pictures and Jerry Bruckheimer worked closely with the Pentagon during production of the 1986 blockbuster Topgun. The Navy made several F-14s available for the film, as well as allowing filming aboard the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise. Paramount did pay for the use of the aircraft, but without the U.S. Department of Defense's approval of the script, the hardware, personnel, and technical expertise would never have been supplied and the movie would not have been made. Hollywood makes a fortune from the blockbuster hits, and the military has a beautiful propaganda piece. After Top Gun was released, the Navy reported a 500% increase in the number of men who joined the Navy to become pilots. It shouldn't be a shock that the government endeavors to portray a positive image to the media. What's shocking to me is that government propaganda in the news and entertainment is often digested by the general public as fact, and those of us who point out the hypocrisies, inaccuracies, and falsehoods are demonized and ridiculed as conspiracy theorists, nut jobs, tinfoil hat wearers, and terrorists.